Welcome to Beat the Disease Nutritionally. I'm your host, Lisa Bruno. Joining us today is a registered dietitian, Teresa Terlikoski, MS, RD, CDN. Welcome.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. It's great to have you here today.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Wonderful. Now, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and your work?
Well, I'm a registered dietitian, as you mentioned. I've been in practice for over 25 years. My background basically is mostly includes healthcare, hospital administration, as well as clinical dietetics. I worked a little bit in sales, and I've also done a lot of work in a gym that I belong to, where I actually work with clients one-on-one, doing nutrition counseling. So I went to school on Long Island, Queens College, and then post for my master's, and I did an internship at Glen Cove Hospital. So, born and raised.
Born and raised. Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. Is there a certain aspect to your job that you feel is most interesting to you?
Well, it's different. I put it this way: it's very diverse. Nutrition is a hot topic. Everybody wants to know about nutrition, more about nutrition. They want to know how to eat well, to prevent disease, correct disease, lose weight, gain weight.
Yes.
So it's always a hot topic. So it's diverse.
Yes.
I have to say I enjoy working with the clients at the gym and athletes because that seems to be where the trend is growing today.
Yes, indeed, indeed. And I know oftentimes people, they try to eat well and they try to make smart decisions, but they don't quite know how to read food labels.
Right.
So they'll be in a grocery store and they don't know what choice to make. Do you have any advice?
Well, the food labels are quite comprehensive. A lot of information on boxes and cans, and people are so hungry for information and knowledge because a lot of people want to take nutrition in their own hands.
Yes.
Now, that's where we come in. As registered dietitians, we work with patients and we try to gear them in the right direction, help them decipher the labels because there is so much information on them. Serving size, what nutrients they're highest in, etc., and how they fit into a balanced diet.
Right.
So that's a lot of my job, actually. When people became more cognizant of the fact that they need to learn the labels, they would be off to a much better start.
Yes, exactly. Because then they're self-sufficient.
Exactly.
And
right.
they know what choices
They may
to
not
make.
need us, but
Oh, they'll always need you. Things are always evolving, right?
Exactly.
Right. Oh, well, thank you. We have more to talk about with Teresa, so stay tuned to Beat the Disease Nutritionally. Teresa, why are food labels so important?
Well, food labels provide a lot of information for consumers who are looking to make some dietary changes based on maybe their physician recommendation or their registered dietitian recommending to make some changes. If you look at a food label, it includes a lot of information, and a lot of it is useful, a lot more information than it used to contain. And basically, they're used as tools for people trying to make the dietary changes, as well as tools for us as registered dietitians when we plan meals for our patients.
Now, how would one go about reading a label?
The labels start, if you look at the top of a label, typically it'll give you the serving size in that particular food item. For example, what we're looking at here is a box of cereal, oat cereal. The serving size is 1 cup. Right underneath it, though, it's important to note that the servings per container, per package, are 9. So that what that means is that, you can't eat the whole package.
Right.
1/9 of that package is what is considered a serving size. You need to start from there so that you can actually understand the rest of the label, which bases everything on one serving size, 1/9 of that particular product. A lot of people will say, oh, I can have the box of cereal and it's 190. Not the case. 1/9 of it is 190 calories.
Yes.
And the label is divided as such. In the first section of it includes the nutrients that are most important to our health. That being the calories, the fat, protein, carbohydrate, sodium, potassium. Those are the key nutrients that people are always looking to change, alter, add more, delete some.
Yes.
Most of the time when patients are on special diets, it's one of those nutrients that they usually have to limit.
Now, I've often heard people talk about good fats and bad fats. So can you distinguish the two for us?
Saturated fats, we all know, are the fats that are solid at room temperature. Basically butter. Butter is considered like a saturated fat, as is Crisco. Not that you would eat Crisco per se. Then you have your unsaturated fats, monounsaturated, and polyunsaturated, which are into the unsaturated category. Your polyunsaturated fats are good fats.
Now, is there a certain well, say a fun fact about yourself?
Well, I try to practice what I preach. I can't say that I do every day. I'm not a real good girl when it comes to my diet, but I get back on track. I don't do it regularly as 24/7.
Yes.
I'm a big believer in exercise. I think you need to exercise so you gain the right to eat, so to speak. You burn the calories, and then, you can eat healthy meals.
Right.
Obviously, I don't eat candy every day. I'm not, but I do believe in counseling patients and making them realize that food is very social and it's about life. And, to restrict yourself if you're watching your weight and you're going crazy with calories really is not what it's all about. As we say in the ADA, all foods can fit. And really, it's just a matter of portions.
Yes.
And that's, again, why the label is so important for people.
Right. Now, if someone's in the grocery store and they're shopping and they're looking through, all of these choices they have to make, how can they, at a quick glance, say, okay, you know what? This is good for me.
Well, that's a good question because there's a lot of food in the store.
Yes.
Without directing them immediately to the produce aisle where the fresh fruits and vegetables are, which is obviously your best choice.
Yes.
Where you get mostly vitamins A and C and a lot of fiber.
Teresa, maybe you can help me answer a viewer's question. She states, I'm eating diet foods, but I'm not losing weight. What do you recommend?
I think I would probably want to know a little bit more about what she defines as diet foods. Some people feel that if they eat, for example, the Atkins diet is very hot, still is, but it's certainly not as popular as it was a number of months ago. People thinking they're just eating all that meat and they're losing weight. But the bottom line, it's not a healthy way to eat, And after a while, your body adjusts itself, and they may not lose weight after a while. Your body may end up, maintaining the weight even though they think they're eating diet foods. That's not a diet food. My feeling on someone with that problem is that I'd like to, again, take a diet recall, see what they're eating. My recommendation is to eat 6 small meals a day. Keep your metabolism going. Definitely exercise. Exercising, at least 3 to 4 times a week, and a lot of aerobics. Again, depending upon the age of the patient and their ability level.
Right.
Oftentimes, we find that people are not losing weight or they're not seeing the results of all their exercise because they need to change the exercise.
Right. Have some variety.
As I mentioned earlier today, in speaking with a colleague, I've seen people go to the gym, and I'm one of them, and I daydream, and I don't work hard enough.
Me too.
And I stare at everyone there, and I'm not doing much of anything when, I'm in that type of position. So really, it's just looking at the total picture.
Yes.
Maybe there's some type of underlying problem that she's having. Is she eating a lot of foods that are high in sodium? Perhaps she's retaining water, and therefore her weight is higher.
Yes.
There's so many reasons that could happen, but I think we should start right where you started and define diet foods.
Yes.
Diet foods for somebody, it depends on the culture too.
Yes.
A diet food could be a piece of candy or cake for some culture.
That's such a valid point. Yes.
So you really need to
That term is very broad.
I think
people use it very
generally.
Yes, very
Absolutely.
generally. Oh, well, thank you.
You're
Thank you
very
so
welcome.
much. It's been great having you here.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure. I appreciate it.
Thank you to our guest, Teresa Terlikoski. We have many more topics to discuss, so tune back in to Beat the Disease Nutritionally.